In 1989, Volkswagen built almost 900,000 Golf cars in a single year. At the time, their Wolfsburg factory was the largest and most advanced car plant in the world. This is a step-by-step look at how the second-generation VW Golf and Jetta were made. By hand, machine, and precision. In 1989, a typical workday at the Volkswagen factory began early. Workers changed into uniforms in the locker rooms and made their way to their assigned stations. The first stop in making a car was always the press shop. Here, giant coils of steel, cold rolled or hot rolled, arrived at the plant by train. These coils were then unwound using machines called decoilers. The steel was straightened and cut into flat sheets, known as blanks. These blanks were then fed into enormous stamping presses, either mechanical or hydraulic. Each press used steel dies to stamp parts like fenders, roofs, doors, and hoods. At that time, this stage still required human supervision. Workers kept an eye on the machines, ensured everything ran smoothly, and sometimes handled the parts directly. Today, most of these tasks are done by robots, but in 1989, humans were a key part of the press shop. Volkswagen Wolfsburg plant employed around 45,000 to 50,000 people, and most of them worked in 3 shifts. That means the plant never stopped. It ran 24 hours a day. The size of the Wolfsburg factory? Over 6.5 million square meters, a city within a city. From the press shop, each shaped part was sent off to the welding shop. This is where the real structure of the car, the body in white, was made. From flat steel to full car bodies, the factory's early steps were already impressive. But the next chapter brings heat, sparks, and thousands of welds. In the welding shop, machines and humans worked together to build the car's body. Panels stepped in the press shop were joined to form the strong outer shell of the vehicle. Each second-generation Golf or Jetta body needs thousands of spot welds. 2 copper electrodes would press metal sheets together, then send an electric current through them. This melted the metal at the contact point and created a solid weld. Robots were just starting to become common in factories back then. At Wolfsburg, they were already used for high-volume repetitive welds, but not all lines were fully automated. Many welding jobs still relied on skilled human operators. Inside the control room, workers monitored the welding robots to make sure every part was properly joined. Welding had to be precise. If a panel were even slightly misaligned, it could cause problems later in painting, assembly, or even crash safety.
That's running.
After welding, the cars were moved on automated conveyor belts to the paint shop. Before entering, each car body was tagged with a unique label. This tag showed the exact configuration that the car would follow, down to the color, trim, and features. The orange automated guided vehicles, AGVs, used in the plant helped move parts and bodies around. This kept everything flowing without the need for forklifts or manual transport. Even in 1989, Volkswagen was pushing the limits of car factory automation. Welded and tagged, each Golf and Jetta body now faced one of the most colorful and sensitive stages in car building: paint. With the body shell complete, it was time for paint. In 1989, the Volkswagen paint shop was already highly advanced. The body was first coated with primer to protect it from rust. Then came the base coat, the color of the car. Popular Golf colors at the time included Tornado Red, Alpine White, Helios Blue, and Oak Green. Most of the main painting was handled by robots, but for tight or tricky areas, human painters stepped in with handheld sprayers. This mix of automation and human craftsmanship ensured even coverage across every panel. After the paint dried, quality checks were carried out to spot imperfections, bubbles, or uneven layers. The inspection was strict. Paint flaws could ruin a car's appearance and its value. Now the cars moved to the main assembly line. This is where everything started to come together. Wires, insulation, fuel lines, and hundreds of small components. Each body had a tag that told workers what parts to add at each station. Teams followed this guide to install wiring harnesses, soundproofing material, and mounting brackets. While robots could handle some jobs, most tasks still needed human hands. For example, installing dashboard seats, pedals, and mirrors was done by skilled line workers. Even 35 years later, many of these tasks still can't be done by robots. At the same time, engines were being assembled on a separate line. Most engines were built at Volkswagen's Salzgitter plant or in Chemnitz, and then shipped to Wolfsburg. But some engine work also took place locally. The engine build included steps like inserting the crankshaft, fitting pistons, sealing the cylinder head, and setting valve timing. Special torque tools and gauges made sure every bolt and part met exact specifications. Once complete, each engine was cold tested for leaks, oil pressure, and compression. Many were also hot tested, run at high temperatures to ensure performance before installation. After testing, engines and transmissions were carefully mounted into the chassis. This part of the job often uses large robotic arms or lifts for strength and accuracy. In the final stage of the line, front and rear axles, wheels, grills, seats, and doors were added. Even fuel was filled before the first engine started. This was a key milestone. Hearing the engine turn over for the first time, it meant the car was almost complete. The Golf and Jetta may have looked finished, but a final challenge remained: testing and inspection. One last chapter stood between the factory and the road. After assembly, every Golf and Jetta had to pass a strict inspection process. At this point, workers checked everything by hand and eye. Paint was examined for scratches, dents, or color mismatches. Body panels were checked for gaps in alignment. Doors, mirrors, and headlights had to sit perfectly. Inside, seats were tested for comfort and fit. Dashboards were checked for clean stitching, tight finishes, and proper control placement. Switches, knobs, and lights had to work exactly as expected. Many of these quality checks were done by female workers, who were often employed in inspection roles during that time. They played a vital part in ensuring each car left the factory in perfect condition. The engine and electronics were then tested from the driver's seat. Workers checked lights, controls, and instrument panels. Headlight alignment was adjusted using special machines. Even a few degrees off could mean poor visibility at night. Then came the test track. Cars were driven on a closed loop near the production hall. This was the final step before shipping to dealers.
The
Test drivers looked for rattles, steering problems, or any strange noises. They pushed the cars to highway speeds and braked hard to check ABS and suspension. If anything felt off, the car went back to the line for adjustments. But quality checks didn't end there. Volkswagen also used advanced crash test facilities at the Wolfsburg plant. Cars were crashed into solid barriers, under controlled conditions. High-speed cameras filmed every second. These tests helped VW improve safety, design, and material strength for future models. In 1989, Volkswagen reached a massive milestone. They produced their 50 millionth vehicle. It was proof of their worldwide success. From humble Beetles to modern Golfs and Jettas, Volkswagen had become a global leader.